Okay. All right, we are back. We're going to fly up to Truth or Consequences. We have a sip of coffee. We're tuned into a Paso clearance delivery here. I need to be able to write down a departure frequency and squawk code here in a second. So let's just be ready to do that for the heck of it. We've got Yankee, which is the weather. We're back. Yeah, we're back, getting ready to go. And all things told, performance is pretty good in here with all this stuff running. I still think these new clouds are a bit harder on my frames than the other ones were, but it is what it is. Number 15, Juliet Golf, and we have Yankee, and we want VFR. We want a north departure. North or northwest? What would we call it? We would call it northwest, I think. Uh, 125.0 El Paso clearance. Yeah, it's really pretty great, and it flies really well too. I usually don't like the way Alabeos fly, and this one I like how it flies quite a bit actually. I have to say that I am certainly losing some frames here, and I wonder if it's the shadow or the clouds, but it's not quite as good as I would normally expect to see. Let's just look at the Avatab plugin real quick. Yeah, well, it's getting up to 40, 39. It's hanging, it's trying. Turn that back off. All right, well, the sooner we're out of here, the better it'll be. What are we calling El Paso clearance? El Paso clearance, November 15, Julie Golf with Yankee, VFR departure north.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand the call sign. Say it one more time.
November 15, Juliet Golf is Mooney, M20P.
M15 Juliet Golf, El Paso clearance, good morning, departure frequency 119.15, and the squawk 2262.
119.15, 2262, November 15, Juliet Golf.
15 Juliet Golf, read back correct.
Oh, rats. There we go. Let's make sure we're squawking altitude, 2262. There we go. We're going to have 119.15. Okay, now we're going to go over to ground control, 121.9.
Minnesota 04 Foxtrot Mike on present heading. You'll be entering a restricted area that's from the surface to 10,000 feet.
Okay. Boy, I'm having trouble. I'm phlegmy today. I just want to confirm our altitude here. 3962. Yeah, we're good. El Paso ground, November 15, Julia Golf is at GA parking, ready for taxi, northwest departure.
Number 15, Julia Golf, El Paso ground, runway 26 left, taxi via Victor and Lima.
26 left via Victor Lima, November 15, Julia Golf. Okay, 26 left. That's right there. Victor Lima, straight ahead for us. All right. Let us get ready to go. Control check. Boom, 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 boom. Our elevator's going up and down. Something is definitely dragging on the frames compared to normal. I have to think it's these new clouds or the new shadows, because those are the only two things that I changed. Although it looks like the shadows are low res again. So it must just be the new clouds. Well, I'd rather just have the old clouds if it's going to hurt my performance this much. But so be it. We'll stick with it for now. Okay, Victor Lima. Parking brake off. And let's get ready with our next tower frequency.
Cessna clearance. Good morning. Cessna Caravan 652 Papa Tango. Request flight following to Bakersfield 2500 with information Lima.
Okay.
Number
And so we
652
go.
Papa Tango, have your request tonight. What was your aircraft type again?
Cessna Caravan.
Thanks.
I assume this is Victor. I don't see any signs. What's the vector, Victor? It's gotta be.
Number 652 Papa Tango, departure frequency this morning 119.6, squawk 5357.
Departure frequency 119.6 and squawk 5350652 Papa Tango.
Father, son, if you're still watching, if you could let me know about the quality of the stream and the audio, that would be great.
5357652 Papa Tango.
Okay, we're going to go up at 8,500 feet to truth or consequences. We've fueled up. Turn on our noise cancellation once we get up there. That's Victor there. What's the vector, Victor? Okay. Bye FIDE. So far so good. Thanks, guys. FTP, I'm going to try not to make it car sick this time. That's my goal. Winds were 240. So they're behind us. So let's apply forward elevator pressure. So we are driving away from the winds. Nice day in El Paso, Texas.
Number 904 Foxtrot Mike, Seattle. Well, for Foxtrot Mike, I was able to get in touch with the users of the restricted airspace, and they said if you want to cut through the extreme western portion of that restricted airspace, they don't have a problem with that at 8,500.
Things you wouldn't be doing in the real world. Yeah. You've got better peripheral vision in the real world than you do in virtual reality. That is for sure.
Full Foxtrot Mike, no problem.
I like these sky colors, go. These sky colors from the soft cloud package are nice. I just don't know if the clouds are good enough on my frames. We'll see. Okay. Switch over to tower. Let's do our run up. Let's lean here
First
for
low ground, 652
best
Papa
performance.
Tango, 1000 ground, ready to taxi.
Number 652, Papa Tango, Fresno ground, runway 11 right, taxi via Alpha and Bravo.
Runway 11 right via Alpha Bravo, 652 Papa Tango.
It's about right in here. Okay. Cycle the prop. Magnetos. We're ready to go. Boost pump is off. Controls. Controls. Elevator. Rudder. Okay. We're on tower. Our next frequency is going to be 119.15. We should be about an hour en route. Come on, pull it up. Oh, I had it and I missed it. And then let's go up to truth or consequences and add it to the route just so that we've got it. Come on, baby. Oh, I had it. It must be really precise on where you have to click with the mouse on the web in ForeFlight. Oh, there we go. Add to route. 97 miles. Good. Zoom in. Then we'll be ready to go. I don't want to sit here and hold to the end of the runway for too long. Okay, our heading out of here is going to be looking at that. If I could look at the flight plan, I wonder if it'll tell me the heading. Doesn't. Maybe if I do this. It tells me, let's plan for the Mooney ovation first of all. There we go. 40 minutes. Send to flights. Maybe it'll do it if I do that. Alright, well, we'll just figure the heading out when we get up there. Make sure the autopilot is off. Good point. Autopilot is off. Okay, let's get ready to go. Paso Tower, November 15, Julia Golf, holding short 26 left, ready for takeoff.
15, Julia Golf, El Paso Tower, good morning, wind 240 at 10, runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff.
26 left, cleared for takeoff, 15 Julia Golf. Okay. We'll fly up visual anyway, so. All right. Check one last thing. It'd be nice if the ForeFlight plan on the map, on the web version, would give you Just want to confirm it.
Fresno Tower 652 Papa Tango, holding short runway 11 right at Bravo 14.
Number 652, Papa Tango, Fresno Tower.
Survey says
Let's see, wind 1508, runway 11 right, cleared for takeoff.
310 heading.
Clear for takeoff, 11 right, 652 Papa
Okay,
Tango.
310 heading. Let's go. Good morning, Jeff. Good jet. Good to see you. Landing lights are on. Strobes. We've done our control checks. We're ready with our departure frequency. Noise cancellation. Beautiful day in El Paso. Full power, 1 notch. Wind is coming almost right at us. A little bit of a, or left to right. I think I like the noise better. Oh, sorry. Don't do 2 things at once. More ground handling. You really need to drive into the crosswind in X-plane. Otherwise it doesn't like it. Rotate. Flaps. 310 is going to be our heading. I upped the super sampling to 1.7 and I can really see a lot better in the cockpit for what that's worth. Gear up. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the having an ESXB handy is a good thing. He never told me my on-course turn was approved. Yeah, these clouds are hurting my frames.
15 Julie Golf radar contact, say altitude leaving.
5,000 for 15 Julie Golf.
15 Julia Golf, roger, contact, departure over the flight.
Go departure, 15 Julie Golf. Thanks. El Paso departure, November 15 Julie Golf, 5,300.
15 Julia Golf, El Paso departure, roger. Gonna climb to your requested VFR cruising altitude, proceed on course.
8,500, proceed on course, 15 Julie Golf. And we'd like to keep advisories for the flight up to Truth or Consequences if we could.
Number 15 Julia Golf, roger, you said you're going to Truth or Consequences, is that right?
Affirm, Tango Charlie Sierra.
Roger, I'll make a note of that.
Okay. And we're on our way.
Number 652, Tango.
Definitely I've lost a few frames. I don't know if it's these things that are doing it. And maybe if I go into
Number 652,
plug in for Move VR,
say altitude leaving.
and we give my delay to maybe every
Number 652,
5 frames.
checks, contact Fresno departure on good flight.
I've already got that set to every 20. Doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. Makes this less responsive.
Number 652, Papa Tango, Fresno departure, roger, climb to your requested VFR cruising altitude and proceed on course.
Cancel.
Number 2287.
I clicked on
Monterey,
something I shouldn't have
Clarence,
clicked on.
good morning. Cleared to the Oakland Airport, Monterey for departure, radar vectors Salinas, then as filed.
I do think
Maintain
I'm
7,000
going to
feet,
change
respect
that back
8,000,
because
10
it's not
minutes
as
after
responsive as I want it to be.
Departure frequency will be 121.3.
All right, we'll see.
Squawk 2521.
Okay, we're coming up over these mountains, alongside these mountains. We want to come in and boy, that looks good. I think it's these clouds. Hard to say. Another 1,000 feet to go on our climb.
Number 2287, read back correct.
We want to cross a little bit to the north of these top mountains if we came right out, so I'm going to come this way a little bit.
Number 904, Foxtrot Mike, contact Tri-Cities approach 128.75 today.
It's looking good down there. We still have flickering shadows in VR for the clouds. Hopefully that will be fixed sometime soon. Landing lights. Come up to 8,500.
Number 904, Foxtrot Mike, Tri-Cities approach, good morning. The Tri-Cities altimeter 3006.
Increase the size of my iPad just a little bit. Okay, 8,500 feet. Blew through it just a little. Throttle back to about 1,900. Get our RPM back to 24. Okay, now let's adjust. There's that road through the mountains. Does that look like that right there? Probably. Okay, so we just crossed that. We'll keep flying up the mountains here for a minute until we are past them, then we'll go back on our heading. And we should be able to follow that line of power plants, or power lines, set of power lines right there that come north of here. Okay, 8,500. Let's get ourselves down there. Get ourselves leaned in here where we want to be. I need a little more forward trim. There's a big road coming out of here to the north. Okay, there's that road right there. And we want to be on this side of it, following it northwest. So we'll turn a little bit here. And there's the train tracks right next to it. Okay. We also have it there.
Julia Golf, what's your planned cruising altitude today?
Planned is 8,500. We're just not doing a good job of holding it.
No, I just didn't make a note of it, so I was just going to throw it in the strip for you.
Yeah, 8,500.
Julia Golf, thanks.
Sometimes they ask you because you've blown through what they had on the strip. And they're going, hey, like, are you going to fly what you said you're going to fly or not? Let's put on terrain awareness for us here. Okay, now let's get ourselves leaned so we're 50 degrees rich of peak. I think I see the power lines right beneath us here. Yep, so about here we're going to turn to our 310 heading. $16.70, 1675 was the highest I saw. So let's go down to 1625.
Number 2287, Monterey ground, runway 28 left, taxi via Alpha.
Pretty good there. And turn here to our heading. I didn't quite see where our wind was coming from. 21 knot crosswind, which is where they want us to fly the 320 heading. So we're crabbing. The 310 heading, that is. Okay.
15 Juliet Golf, contact Albuquerque Center now, 124.32, good day.
Go to center on 24.32, 15 Juliet Golf. Albuquerque Center, good morning, November 15 Juliet Golf, 8,500.
15 Juliet Golf, Albuquerque Center, good morning, maintain VFR, Paso, altimeter 3002.
3002, 15 Juliet Golf. Now, we don't want to fly through this restricted area here. We're just to the side of it, so we don't have that to worry about, which is good. Yeah, happy to see you later. I'll be turning it off at the end of this hop, so it's only about a 40-minute flight today up to truth or consequences. Looks like we're loading a tile or weather or something. Yeah, these clouds look okay. I don't know if I like them better.
0904 Foxtrot Mike, would concur with your assessment.
I don't know if I like them better than the default.
Roger, I'll show that as your cruise.
Something is loading here. Something's going on with weather or tile or something. Here's the highway. That's going to be that bend in the highway again. I don't want to be using the map. I'd rather have terrain. And we can follow this up to Las Cruces, which I can see right up here. And then we'll follow it up to where it heads. Oops. Follow it up to where it heads west, and then we know we need to stop following it. Looks like we're leaving those clouds behind us. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer the sky colors, but I don't know if I prefer the clouds. If they have a frame impact. I mean, they look okay, but they don't look fantastic. Las Cruces, New Mexico is coming up on the left. Sound like a tour guide today. Weather just updated. Yeah, we're having big frame lags there. Something's going on. The ortho scenery looks awesome. I have to say I've really enjoyed this process of flying the Mooney from place to place. I feel like I've actually seen a lot of this territory. Huh, just us. I hope I'm still streaming. If you guys could confirm that for me, that would be great. Maybe a little cloud layer beneath us here all of a sudden. All right, good, thank you. So Jet, did you used to fly for Piedmont, or is there something, is there a story there? Something is really hammering my frames right now. Feels like a window thing. A Windows thing. But I can really tell. Oh, that's cool. I like that. There's the stadium. I assume that's where the Lobos play. Well, no, is New Mexico, are they in Las Cruces? No, they're not. Okay, so we're going to come up here. We've got a restricted area we need to stay clear of. We're going to go over those little mountains. And pretty soon up here we're going to come into this. Now this restricted area up here is restricted only by NOTAM. But we should check and make sure that 511C and D are inactive. There's the ball. Hey Jimmy, good to see you. That is really cool. That's very cool. All right.
Number 2287 Monterey Tower, wind 060 at 5, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
I better ask him about that pretty soon here. Albuquerque Center, November 15, Julie, go.
Number 15, Julie Golf, Albuquerque, go ahead.
We're just looking ahead to restricted 5111 Charlie and Delta. It's real world active only by NOTAM, so we're going to presume it's cold if that's okay with you.
Number 15, Julie Golf, from those restricted areas are cold this morning.
Roger that. 15 Julie, go. This is the Alabeo, Jimmy. I have downloaded the AFM. I've played with it a little bit. Visually in VR, it's not there yet. The textures and the rest, I know it's early release, so I'm hoping it gets better. I had just a little bit of time to play with the flight model and the rest, so I really haven't spent any time in it. But I went ahead and got it because I'm interested in the flight model. This thing flies quite well, though. It's very stable. Like a real airplane would be stable. Like, you know, if I get it trimmed just right, it stays where it is, what it's supposed to be doing. I find that's hard in a lot of aircraft, and flight models are not very stable. There's a balance, you know, between stability and instability. They got to move with the air, but not flop all over the place. So I'm interested to try it. Have you flown the AFN yet? Okay, landmark. We're going to keep following the power lines. The road is going to come up and bail away from us. You can see where there's the big bend in the railroad tracks. They follow the road and then the river. Oops.
Number 652, Pump Tango, contact Bakersfield approach 118.8. Have a good day.
Oh, I've done that again. I don't want to do that. think that fixes it. Nope. 1 second. I haven't figured out how to solve that problem in this yet. There we go. Now I should not have that problem anymore. Yeah. So there's the river and the road and the railroad tracks. I can actually see a train down there on the railroad tracks, which is cool. Again, the frames aren't quite as good as they were before. I hope it's not this that's doing it. Let's see. Let me turn that off.
Number 2287.
No, it's about the same. I think Windows is doing something. This has got the updatey window feel to me. Let me close this one. Yeah. No, it's not about that. There's something else going on. All right, well, we might as well open them back up.
Number 2287, NorCal departure, negative radar contact, check transponder. Squawk 2521, with let's see, please.
Take care of that one in a second, and then we want to do this one. We can make that delay 20 frames, best quality, sport mouse. Put this one over here. Close that.
Number 2287, radar contact, climb and maintain. 8,000. And I'll have on course for you shortly.
Now we've got our knee board ready to go, or our iPad on the board where it should be.
Number 2287, clear direct Cairn intersection. Thanks for the navigation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people say that. I know the flight model shouldn't be very different between the, sorry, I was distracted, between the Arrow and the Archer. I fly the Archer in the real world, and because I find the Warrior in that too drops like a rock too. It's not just the Arrow. I find that in that Warrior, which is a beautiful airplane in the VR, when I cut the power, it sinks like a stone. And I've got quite a bit of time as a student in the Arrow or in the Warrior, and it doesn't do that. At least hasn't for me. I mean, it sinks, but it's not like it floats. It doesn't float forever and doesn't sink together. It flies like an airplane. So, okay, we've got to switch over our tanks. Boost pump on, right. Confirm we've got positive fuel flow. We do. Boost pump off. I've found 1.7 super sampling is about the best for me. I don't get a lot more out of having less than that, or I don't get a lot more performance from in terms visually of going over it, and I suffer quite a bit in performance, and if I go under it, I think it doesn't look as good. I can read all the dials there quite easily. I can even read where I am on my altimeter, my barometer setting, so that works for me. I find again, I haven't flown the Arrow, but I find like the Warrior, it would hang on its prop. It would be, I mean, power off stalls were a challenge in that airplane because it wouldn't want to stall. That wing doesn't like to stall. And I don't know if that's true of the Turbo Arrow or not. With the Archer 2, I mean, I can certainly stall it, but it's quite stable and it will hang on its prop quite a bit, I found. Now, I've only got 65 hours or something like this in these airplanes, so it's not like I got 1,000, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just something, they're saying it's a bug in ground effect for X-Plane, but like it doesn't happen with this thing as much. So I don't know. I thought Laminar had admitted that they had some bug, but I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, we're going to go to just this side of these mountains up here. And then we'll start getting close to Truth or Consequences. I designed the scenery for Truth or Consequences. It didn't have scenery in the Gateway, so I designed some this week when I had some free time, and I've uploaded it, so it's on the Gateway. It should be approved soon, and then if it's approved, we can expect that it will be in a future release. Truth or Consequences is at 4,800 feet. I assume pattern altitude is going to be 5,800 or close to it. 5,800 feet. ASOS is going to be 120.675. Let's get ready for that. And looking at, keeps wanting to move that thing. I don't know why. But one of the things that was fun is it has all these intersecting turf or dirt strips. Okay, so normal patterns were a little high. 4,800 feet, pattern out to 5,800 feet. So we'll want to be at 85 down to 55, give or take, 3,000 feet. There's the bend in the highway, which is down here. Now what we should be able to see up here pretty soon is we should be able to see Spaceport America off to our right. In fact, that's probably it right there, which is this big government-funded project in the New Mexico desert to build a spaceport for private services like Virgin Atlantic or Virgin, whatever the Virgin, Astro Virgin brand is, and SpaceX and things like that. It's off to some starts, fits and starts. I know there is scenery you can get in the gateway for it. It's kind of a cool idea. I hope it takes off, if you'd pardon the pun. KSGU. KSGU. What is Jimmy, what's KSGU? Am I missing it? I'd love to know what the home airport is. Airport design's easy, Jimmy. You should take it up. I've got a YouTube video or two on in the channel, in the playlist, of where I do tutorials in terms of how I think about it and how I do it. I'm not a great designer compared to a lot of people, but I find that once you get a lot of the tricks to make you efficient out of the way, it's just flying about 310 there, 310 there. It can be pretty efficient to make airport, and you know, the more the better. So what I'm doing is, on this trip, if I'm flying into an airport on this trip in the Mooney around the west, if I plan to land at an airport that doesn't have scenery, I'm designing it. So I designed Truth or Consequences. I think I'm good like all the way up to Boise, the rest of the way. But there's some stops in like Fillmore, Utah and stuff on the way back. I've got the route planned. We're going to fly all the way up past Seattle here on a northwest heading, and then we're going to fly across the top of the country and then fly all the way down to San Diego from Montana on a southwest heading. And so I just have been kind of making them as I go. Oh, St. George. So you live in Utah, Jimmy? Did I know this? Being from Salt Lake City myself originally, I would be interested to know that. Okay. So here's the first little set of mountains that are right there. And then the next set, we should start to see the train tracks go off to our side here. Yep. So we're right about where we should be. And then they go up and go right past Spaceport America. There you can see the strip for Spaceport America right there. Virgin Galactic, that's what's going to be based there, supposedly. Okay, so I was saying we're going to be 8,500. We want to get down to about 5,500. That's 3,000 feet at 500 feet a minute. That's going to be 6 minutes. 6 minutes at 140 knots or so is going to be about 12, 13, 14, 15 miles. So if the compass rose on this is 20 miles across, then I'm going to want to be about starting our descent about where that little river is that cuts through these mountains up here. That should be about the right descent point for us. We can see the lake up there. tell center we're going to switch over and get the weather because we're getting close. Well, we'll do it when we get to descent. Thanks, Peter. I've worked hard to get it to run smooth. Oh, that's great. Did you serve up at Hill Air Force Base, Jimmy, or out at Dugway, or if you don't mind my asking? Okay, so we go right past these peaks up here, and then the runway, the airport, is going to be past Truth or Consequences Town, which is going to be on our left. And the field has really, it's 11, 13 and 3-1 are the only paved strips. Or 13, 11 and 2-9, I'm sorry. No. 13 and 3-1 are the two paved strips. So we'll be thinking about wind in that respect. And then the next stop after this, we're going to fly from Truth or Consequences all the way up to your neck of the woods, Jimmy. We're going to fly up to Bullfrog, like close to Bullfrog, Cal Black Memorial, which is up by the dam for Lake Powell. Huh. Well, thanks for your service, Jimmy. I appreciate it. I hope other people do too. Okay, I can see that straight line down there. That looks like power lines to me. Or what would be power lines. There's a straight line of power lines right here. It goes up to the dam, okay? And then the town is going to be right there. Okay, and there's a little cut. Okay, so let's tell, I don't quite have the field yet, but let's tell these guys we want to get the weather. Albuquerque Center, 15 Juliet Golf is going to switch over to get the Truth or Consequences weather.
15 Juliet Golf, rudder, I don't know what back home.
180 at 15, gusts higher. 2999 on the altimeter. 180 at blowy. All right, let's start our descent. Let's take some manifold pressure out. Center 15 Julie Golf back on frequency. Okay.
15 Juliet Golf, roger. The airport's at your 1 o'clock and about 18 miles reported, so. It's at 11 o'clock and 18 miles.
Yeah, we have the field, 15 Julie Golf. Yep, I got it.
15 Juliet Golf, roger. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Have a good day.
Squawk VFR, frequency change approved, November 15 Julie Golf, thanks. Come on, squawk my VFR for me, baby. There we go. Okay, so we start coming down a little bit more. We've got the field, 122.8 is our CTAF frequency.
904 Foxtrot Mike, come.
Okay, right when we get about to the lake is we're going to be at 10 miles. And if it's blowing, hello from Fab Simulation GP, good to see you. So it's blowing at 1.8, is that right? Well, I don't really want to do a landing on 1.5, is it? I guess we could do a landing on 1.5. I don't want to do a dirt field landing if I can. We'll practice the windy landing on 1-3. That's what we'll do. Okay, there's the airport. We're looking straight down the pipe of one of them. Truth or consequences, traffic, November 15 Julie Golf is 7,600, 10 miles south of the field. We'll be making left traffic for 1-3, truth or consequences. Let's switch over to the ASOS one more time, 1-2. 0.675. So quiet. I'm gonna adjust my volume here real quick. Something is freaking out at the PC and it's not liking it one bit. Don't like that. Might be better. See if I can hear it again. That's better.
Wind 160 at 18. Visibility more than 10.
16018.
Temperature 20. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3001. Truth or consequences, Mooney weather. Wind 160 at 18. Visibility more than 10.
16018.
Temperature 20. Dew point -2. Altimeter 3.
Okay, that's even better for 1-3. Good to see you guys. Welcome back. Well, Peter, if you're in a wheelchair, VR would be the thing for you for sure. Okay. Got to come down a little bit more here. There's the town of Truth or Consequences. Truth or Consequences traffic, November 15 Julie Golf is making for a 45-degree entry, left traffic into 1-3, Truth or Consequences. (5,800 feet) is going to be our pattern altitude. Okay, mixture rich, prop full. Yeah, I know, sweetheart. Okay, sterile cockpit. My last talk to, my last look at the chat for a minute. Okay, landing lights on. Full tank. Mixture is rich. Prop is full. Let's go ahead and put the gear down. Truth or consequences traffic, November 15 Julie Golf is joining the left downwind for 1-3. Truth or consequences. Get up to about 13 pounds, or 13 on manifold pressure, which is about where I'd like to be. Again, we're a little low. So it's good to see this. Yeah, so I designed this strip and have uploaded it to the gateway. You should be able to find it soon. Hopefully it's approved. Windows is definitely updating something. All those dirt strips and taxiways look good. Oh. I wonder why. There we go. A little bit of a stall horn there. I guess I was out of manifold pressure more than I thought. Okay, we're across from our touchdown point. First notch. Back out of manifold pressure. Trim for about 80. Gears down. We're accounting for our crosswind. Truth or consequences, traffic, November 15 Julie Golf, turning left base 313, truth or consequences. Okay, let her keep coming. We're a little low, add a little power. Okay, gas is full, undercarriage is down, and locked mixture is rich. Prop is full. We are strapped. We are at our first notch of flaps. Truth or consequences, traffic, November 15 Julie Golf is turning final for 13, truth or consequences. Okay, I want us a little slower. Final flaps. We are right on the glide slope where we should be. Nicely stabilized at about 78 knots. Little power coming down a little bit. That crosswind is taking us. A little more power. We are crabbing. Keep a little more power on landing here because of that wind. There's our ground effect. Keep that wing down. And almost got a sloped runway here. Kick her over. I'll have to unslope the runway. And then, of course, the crosswind ground handling of X-Plane 11, ladies and gentlemen. Total chaos. You like have to completely deflect into the wind with these things. Yeah, well, I'll look forward to the day when that's fixed. There's our windsock. Looks like that was everything I thought it was going to be. And here's the little, oh look, it made the bollards around the, it made the bollards around the fuel trucks 40 feet high. I'm going to have to fix that in the scenery. All right, we're down. Better than nothing. Truth or consequences, traffic, November 15 Julie Golf is clear of 13, taxiing to the Ramp, truth or consequences. Okay, lamps are done. Landing lights. And strobe and nav. Thank you, Jet. Yeah, I was a little surprised by the slope in the runway there at the last minute. It was clearly coming straight at us. So I'll have to go back into the airport scenery and flatten the airport and fix those bollards. I'll just hand place bollards, but I put a bollard string and it made the bollards like 80 feet high. So I'll hand place those because that's the fuel pad right there. And then this is the little airport that I made for truth and consequences. And it looks pretty good. I don't know why it made that thing that high. Oh, it probably put a building there, so I need to have an exclusion zone issue with that. And that hangar is backwards. So flip the hangar, fix the exclusion zone, fix the fuel pad, and the rest of it looks pretty good. We'll park right over here. There's definitely something going on with the windows though, because I'm getting lots of stutters. Okay. Ooh, that made me feel sick to my stomach. Parking brakes on. Electronics off. Throttle back. Take out the mixture. All right. Welcome to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Who knew that we'd end up here? We have so far, if we look at the chart, I don't know if I have the whole flight plan loaded in here or not. Let me see. I don't. But we'll just look at it this way we'll pick this up, thanks to the wonders of this new plugin. So we started here, flew to Reno. Well, we stopped in Sacramento, flew to Reno, flew up to Battle Mountain, flew to Wendover, flew to Salt Lake City, flew to Roosevelt, flew to Yampa, flew up over the top and came down and landed in Denver. Flew out to, I don't even remember what that town was called. And then we had a stop down here, and then we flew past Amarillo, we stopped down here, and then we came down to here, and then we've done to here, and now we're up to Truth or Consequences. And we're going up here. So our next stop, if you want to play ahead, and who knows, I might make it tonight, depending on what's going on with family, is I'm going to fly from Truth or Consequences, and then it's going to be about an hour. And we're going to fly up to Gallup. So TCS to Gallup. So 156 nautical miles. It's going to take us about an hour and 20 minutes. And should be an interesting flight. I've already got the ortho downloaded. We're going to presume this MO is hot or is cold. Not a lot of options in terms of runways if we have an engine out. And again, we'll probably try to do VFR navigation the entire way. And then up into Gallup. That's going to be the next leg. All right. Let's see what else we have. Thanks. Yeah, I am trying to stay ready for the check ride for sure. Thank you very much, Simulation GP. . Thanks for the conversations, Jimmy, you guys. I appreciate it. I'm not streaming as many flights as I used to. Although now with this and me not having to open an Oculus Dash and have all those problems, it's a lot easier than it was before. So I may stick with it based on that. And I'm going to take those clouds out and see if it makes a difference. I think Windows was doing something. I think that's what my problem was. It had that feel to it. Jimmy, I have a post on the website, www.ontheglideslope.net, where I talk about how I've sort of configured for VR. That might be helpful to you. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next stream.